네, 안녕하세요. Today's my first day of technical work based on now we're gonna go to the clinic later. We're gonna first go to Simba House and then we go to our individual project areas. So yeah, 오늘 하루도 재밌게 시작해봅시다. These are what the dorms look like. This is like the coordinator's room. 이런 과일 이름으로 이렇게 그룹 방을 네임했어요. Okay, so day 2 of work was finished. I helped deliver more babies. I got to carry some in my arm this time as soon as they were born and got to weigh them. A lot of them weighed between like 2.7 and 3 kilograms, which is honestly, I feel like it's pretty light. But I guess if you convert it to like pounds, it's pretty much the same as like the average of the US baby. But yeah, I think it's so cool. Tonight I'm going to be doing a 12-hour shift. I guess it's more of like a 14-hour shift. I don't know why they call it a 12-hour, but I'm gonna start tonight at like 7 p.m. and then I stay there until 8 a.m. So I guess that's a 13-hour shift. But it's kind of crazy. I'm like, I only have today, tomorrow, and then Friday. Today is Wednesday. So today I already did mine, but I'm gonna be doing my Thursday day shift for tonight, I guess. So then I won't be doing anything tomorrow during the day. And yeah, I'm nervous, but super excited for what's to come because I want to get as much experience as possible. And I know that some of the other girls, they kind of feel like the guy's intimidating, so he's like hard to work with. But I think that it will be a good chance for me to do things in the US that I typically cannot do within my power. So I think it's like the most I want to make of the experience. So yeah, I'll tell you all about it when I get back. But today was also really, really fun. Also more pregnancies. I saw like people stitching like any tears in the cervix or like the vagina, and like you have to put lidocaine in there to numb the area. It's like a local anesthetic and the effects are like almost immediate, so that's why they use that. And Oxycontin or something like that, that's what they put in after like birth immediately, surprisingly not before, which is supposed to like prevent hemorrhage and like excessive bleeding. But yeah, I'm very interested. Hopefully I'll have a great time. I'll keep you updated. Okay, so we're past the security now and we're now on the second floor where there's nobody, because first floor there's only like one restaurant, a few gift shops and stuff. But yeah, now we're gonna go home. First stop is Dar es Salaam, and then we stop by Amsterdam after that, and then we go to Detroit and then to Washington. So we have a lot of layovers this flight, but it should be better than last time because, well, I don't know if it's better, but it should be fine. I think reflecting on this trip, today I did a day shift from 7:30 a.m. to 12:30, but I ended up staying there until like 2 because I was busy taking pictures and trying to organize like some kind of fundraising. So yesterday afternoon I went to the Shoppers supermarket, which is a big supermarket in Arusha, and then I got a bucket with wheels and a mop, so that because their mop is super old and every time there's like blood on the floor you have to wipe it again for between each patient, and there's only 2 delivery beds, so that was something that I saw that I could buy on a small budget. And I also got some contribution from other IVHQ like volunteers who offered to buy like pens, like 50 pens we got for like 30,000 Tanzanian shillings. And because they always seem to run out of pens, the most basic things that people don't have, like I feel like that's kind of helpful. And then I also got 손걸레s that you can reuse, like 설거지 같은 거, because you also have to wipe the delivery beds between each patient, and they've been using like just cloth that's like canvas, not even like towel material. So yeah, I thought it would be helpful to have something that would actually be sturdier. But yeah, I also got that from other volunteers who offered to donate a little bit, which is nice. And I gave them to the hospital this morning, and I even like they tried it out using the mop and stuff, and it works pretty well, so that's really nice. I'm glad that they find it useful. I think other than that, my night shift was really, really good. I did things that I can't even imagine doing in America, but it was awesome. I really enjoyed talking to the doctor who worked with me, Dr. Baraka. He's very young, and like there's actually a lot of like male practitioners in that area, like maternity ward. But in Tanzania, the thing is that you don't need to necessarily like specialize in gynecology to be able to practice it. You can just have a general like medical degree and still be able to treat and deliver babies. So because this is like a smaller clinic where we don't do like C-sections or any emergency like invasive treatment, we just deliver the babies as best as possible. I mean, even though sometimes it involves like making sutures, stitching up any rips that we made because the baby's head wouldn't fit through the vagina, it's definitely like such an eye-opening experience. I think that I learned so much there within the span of like 4 days, especially because on night shift I got to do so many things. I got to like deliver the placenta and cut the umbilical cord, weigh the baby. I got to basically be the second assistant or the first assistant while he was suturing up. Dr. Baraka was suturing up the vagina because he had to make a cut because the vagina was not big enough for the baby to deliver. And it's dangerous for the baby to be in that position where their head is not out of the vagina yet. That's dangerous for them. So we just ended up making a cut to make the hole bigger for the baby's head to come out, which is safer, I guess, in the long run. But it takes some time to get used to. Like the first time that I saw that, I was like, it was so hard to watch because weirdly enough, all the moms start like walking again after that treatment. Like as soon as we're done stitching it, they get up, walk to their own like delivery, like their hospital bed outside of the delivery room. And I'm like, how are you able to walk after this? Like I would feel like the whole like lower part of my body is just paralyzed at that point. But somehow they're able to do that. And they only stay for like another 8 hours and then they just go home, which is crazy because in America, I'm sure that you definitely stay for like multiple days if you need to, but it's kind of very eye-opening. The hospital, Garnaro Clinic, does not have a lot of hospital beds, so they usually end up trying to rush the delivery process so that each mom can safely deliver their baby. But at the same time, I realized that doesn't mean that they are putting their patient at risk by trying to rush the process. That just kind of means they're gonna do what they need to do, like make that kind of decision with a bigger priority on faster delivery, not necessarily putting that as the first thing. Obviously the mother safety is first, and today I had an interesting case where like the mother's baby was not responsive at first, so we had to suction the mouth and then try to like hold it by its feet and then like basically slap the back to try to get some kind of response from the baby. And it was kind of scary. Like I was thinking that like this could be a very dangerous situation when we might have to like even transfer the baby to another hospital. But thankfully we got the baby to respond safely. And weirdly enough, as small as this hospital is and as little resources as it has, they seem to have very safe deliveries, and they can do everything that they need to do to ensure that their patients are safe and that their goals are accomplished. So I'm very amazed and like admiring the people who, like the doctors, the patients, how they can do this with such little resources that they have. How do they ensure that? I guess part of that comes with making an important decision on whether a patient needs to be transported to another hospital where there are greater resources and they can do emergency deliveries like C-section, because that hospital does not do C-section. So part of that success rate, I think, comes with making important decisions on how each mother varies and whether they need to have special treatment or not, like whether they're anemic, because if they're anemic then this hospital doesn't treat it because they don't have the resources for a blood transfusion. I could go on and on for hours about this, but like I am just so amazed. Yeah, I'm really gonna miss Dr. Hannah, who is someone who really tried to make me comfortable throughout my stay at Gardenaro, and I would love to come back sometime. At the same time, I want to really get experience outside of like the maternity ward, like maybe emergency room or the emergency department. But this was definitely like another version of the emergency room, because you never know when the mother's going to deliver, especially at nighttime. All the mothers come in at the weirdest time as possible, and maybe there's like a period of silence and very peacefulness, where I was even able to sleep for like an hour. But after that, like the mothers kind of like start pushing all at once, so then you have to keep calm and just try to tackle each goal one by one. So yeah, I'm so excited to talk about all of this, and this was an amazing experience. I'm so glad and grateful that I was able to do this. Yeah, it's an amazing experience.